Hey there, time traveler. I am Professor Steve. Welcome to the totally not creepy medieval era. You know, the time of knights, castles, and apparently a full-blown obsession with finding the weirdest ways to ruin someone's day. Today, we're diving into 10 medieval torture methods that will make you really appreciate modern-day problems. Like, slow Wi-Fi. First up, we've got the rack, the medieval equivalent of a home gym. Except this one's less about fitness and more about pulling your limbs clean off. The rack became popular in the 15th century and was reportedly used by the infamous Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects it, right? Its origins are a bit murky, but some historians think it was inspired by similar devices used in ancient Greece and Rome. Fun fact, they didn't just use it for torture. Sometimes they stretched you just enough to make you spill the beans during interrogation. It's like medieval polygraph testing, only way more ouch. Next, let's talk about the Iron Maiden. No, not the heavy metal band. The Iron Maiden supposedly popped up in Germany in the late 18th century, which technically makes it post-medieval. But hey, history books love to spice things up. The most famous example? A spike-lined coffin in Nuremberg that allegedly squished its victims. But historians now believe it was more of a hoax designed to scare people. So was it real, or just medieval clickbait? Either way, it's still nightmare fuel. All right, brace yourselves for the pear of anguish. Invented in the 16th century, this one gets an A+ for creativity and an F for everything else. This metal device, shaped like a pear, could be inserted into the mouth, rectum, or other unmentionables. Once inside, the executioner twisted it, and the pear would open up like a flower. Or a really, really bad surprise gift. Historians think it came out of Europe, possibly Italy, because Italians are famous for innovation. Unfortunately, not always in food or fashion. Ah, the Catherine Wheel. Sounds like a cool carnival ride, right? Wrong. This torture method gets its name from Saint Catherine of Alexandria, who was sentenced to death on a breaking wheel in the 4th century. Spoiler, legend says she miraculously survived it, and the wheel broke instead. In medieval times, it became a favorite in Europe. They'd tie someone to the wheel, break their bones with a hammer, and then display the wheel as a warning. Basically, it's a giant bone-snapping fidget spinner, but no one's playing with this for fun. And now for the pièce de résistance, scaphism, also known as the bug buffet. This nightmare of a method dates back to ancient Persia, around 500 BCE. King Artaxerxes II allegedly used it on a soldier who killed his brother. They'd sandwich you between 2 boats, pour honey all over you, and let nature take its course. Flies, maggots, and other bugs would feast on you alive. The worst part? You wouldn't die right away. Victims often lasted weeks. Time for something smaller. Thumb screws. This little gadget was basically a metal clamp designed to crush your thumbs, fingers, or even toes. Popularized in the 17th century, it was mostly used during interrogations. Rumor has it the device became particularly famous during witch trials because nothing says justice like breaking someone's thumbs until they admit to flying on a broomstick. Oh boy, this one's as horrifying as it sounds. The breast ripper, or iron spider, was designed specifically to punish women accused of crimes like adultery or witchcraft. This claw-shaped device was heated up and then, brace yourself, used to tear off the victim's breasts. It was mainly used in medieval Germany during the 16th century. Honestly, this device feels less like punishment and more like a deep-seated grudge against humanity. If you've ever had neck pain, this one will make you cringe. The heretic's fork was a metal rod with prongs on each end. It was strapped to your neck, so one end poked under your chin and the other stabbed into your chest. The catch? You couldn't not lower your head or even fall asleep without stabbing yourself. Used by the Spanish Inquisition in the 15th century, this device ensured you'd literally keep your head up, but not in a motivational way. Ever sat in an uncomfortable chair? Multiply that by 1,000 and you've got the chair of torture. This medieval invention was covered in hundreds of sharp metal spikes. Victims were strapped into it, and sometimes the executioners would press them down or even heat the chair up for extra fun. And let's be honest, whoever invented this probably wasn't invited to many dinner parties. Last but definitely not least, we've got the saw. This one's not for the faint of heart, or the faint of stomach. The victim was hung upside down, which made blood rush to their head, so they stayed conscious longer. Yea, then executioners would saw them in half, starting at the, well, bottom. Used during the Middle Ages in Europe, this method was particularly brutal, and here I thought saws were just for cutting wood. Silly me. Until next time, stay weird, but not medieval weird.